Hi there, I'm a Vietnam vet and my body is old and I'm tired of marching and I can't believe I'm here protesting another war. This is a family event. That's okay. I want to thank everyone for putting this together. They've worked really hard. I was there for part of the planning. They really deserve a big hand of applause. And thank you for coming out and supporting peace, for supporting no war in Iran. It's stupid. I wanted to say that I can really relate to the Iranians. My sister got her degree in Middle Eastern Studies at BSU. And she fell in love with a wonderful Persian boy. And I became part of their family. I've been to their weddings. I've been to their funerals. Some of you from the Iranian community may know Mrs. Karimi. Mrs. Karimi came to my mother's funeral, and I said a poem that I wrote when I was 9 called Mother. And when Mrs. Karimi died, I went and I stood up and I said that poem to her because I knew she would like it. She had asked me for a copy of it. That's why I knew she would like it. So I've been to their weddings. I've been to their funerals. They're me. I can put faces on these people. Most of them are under 30 years old. They love our music. They love our dancing. Because of the draconian sanctions we put on Iran, they're now trading gold and oil for commodities. The last time this happened was Saddam, who was going to trade oil for euros. And we know what happened to him. It's not a sure thing that we're going to war with Iran. So don't put your mind that it's a sure thing. Don't put that thought in your mind. It's not sure that we're going to have boots on the ground. I think that would be absurd, unwinnable, simply because of the Iranian territory. Iran is the 4th largest oil reserve in the world. It has the 2nd largest oil reserve in the Mideast, and we want that oil, or we want control of it. So we want control of the Strait of Hormuz. Our government is telling the American people that once again a country is making weapons of mass destruction to use against us and Israel. But Iran does not possess nuclear weapons. Iran has never started a war. Iran has signed the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty, which Israel has not. And the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, the ones who monitor Israel, have regularly monitoring them. The ones who don't allow the monitors in their country is Israel. And Israel has never acknowledged having weapons of mass destruction. I was hoping my friend Brian Wilson would be here. Brian? Brian is a longtime activist. He's very active in Veterans for Peace. His wife is, his partner is active as an associate member, as are many people here in the crowd I see. He wrote a book called Blood on the Tracks. It is an incredible, phenomenal book. It is one of the best compendiums, readable compendiums, on what the United States has done to the world. I would like to just read you a short quote from the book. Being addicted to the American way of life requires chronic denial of its dependency upon massive exploitation and waste. Remember, there are more people in the world that have peace in their hearts than war on the brain. Stay strong, stay united, and let's have a good, safe march.
Thank you, Jenica. That was beautiful. Next, we have Occupy Portland activist from our school, Hillary Boyd.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone for coming today, and I'm really excited to see so many young people and so many older people and so many different generations coming together to oppose this war. I've never been at war, and I'm really grateful for that, but the only thing I really know that's true about it is that war is terror, and that the only war on terror is peace. Our culture in the United States, especially our popular culture, promotes an idea of war and violence, that it's cool, that it's fun, it's glorified. We see that in TV, in movies, in toys, and in video games, and that is a really dangerous precedent that we set. And so when we make these decisions to go to war, as though we do not have a choice of whether or not to go to war, it is usually made by people who have not had to deal with the pain and heartache and violence and terror of war being brought into their lives.
Such as yourself.
And war, we get a lot of information about the cost of war. We know that half of our tax dollars go to war. We know that so many people die from war and so many people are hurt. And that's really abstract to us. But what's real is when I meet a 12-year-old boy who feels like he doesn't know his father anymore because his father has been deployed in the Middle East for the last 3 years and they lack any kind of connection. That's very real to me. And when I hear other stories about the real impact on real people of how war actually affects their lives, that is bigger to me than any number of a dollar or a count of anything else. Privatized weapons manufacturers in our country make billions of dollars in profit every year as we cripple our ability to provide quality education to our youth and to our communities, to provide health care, to provide housing, and to provide for the food needs of our community. So for me, freedom is about choice. And I don't feel like I live in a free country if we're told we have no choice but to go to war with a country that is not even doing anything to us. So, and along with that freedom of choice is we all have the choice today and every day of our own behavior and how we act and react in our lives. And I want to empower every person here to make the choice for peace in our lives, in our communication with each other, and as we march today, to take accountability for the consequences of our actions.
In 1979, Iran became a sovereign nation. 33 years later, it is still fighting for its independence. On their path to prosperity, Iranians have left behind a trail of blood, a war-torn land constantly trying to seek peace. To the U.S. administration, peace comes in a thin veil known as economic sanction. Starvation has a wider range of impact than any ballistic missile. As if that weren't enough, the American people are force-fed tales of terror threats in the Middle East, while our elected tyrants sign away our right to avoid imprisonment and execution. To the world's largest desert resides in the mind of the neo-imperialistic American. I have such deep disappointment for a man who claimed power through illegitimate means, proclaiming to have respect for personal freedom and nationality, and then condemns an entire nation of people to an axis of evil. Who gave you the right to throw us into a religious crusade? There are no winged angels on our side, only twisted delusions. My heart goes through hell each day because we spend more time and energy trying to divide and conquer this earth than providing for those in need of a bed, in need of food, and in need of justice. The truth is, we are all American, and we are all Persian. We all share the pain of this world. I can feel the bullets piercing through my skin. I can hear my mother cry over my lifeless body. I am the sniper crouching at the top of the tower, but I know that eventually my arms will get tired. So today, let your voices roar with thunder, and let your minds be sharp like lightning. For we are the gathering storm. We are the result of all the suffering, injustice, and hatred that this war has been storing. And after we march across this earth, there will be sunshine and rainbows. Soldiers, please put down your guns, because you're pointing them at me, you're pointing them at yourselves, and you're pointing them at our family. Your service is a double-edged sword. The Persian word for love is eshk. And for eshk, we have declared war against hatred and bigotry. We are so close to winning. Will you join me? Thank you.
Hi everyone, how are you doing today? Good. Okay, so today we'll be marching in the name of love to remind every human being that we are all a part of a big family, living in the same home called the planet Earth. Today we are sending a message of peace and harmony for the rest of the world, because it's our duty to defend our home from those who want to destroy it. We, the people of occupied Portland, condemn any other form of violence. We believe that any problem can be resolved in a peaceful way, and we are against any future conflict against the nation of Iran. We don't want more lies from our representatives in government. If they want war, then they should go and fight for it, and not send our families to fight for them. The people of Iran and America don't deserve to be used as a tool for the benefit of the 1%. With the people of the world, we will lose in this war, and nobody will win from any side, except the very few people who are orchestrating this insane war. So let's make it clear to President Obama and the government that we don't want any war with Iran, because going to war with Iran means more tax money will be invested in the work than in education or healthcare. We want to change the world. For the future of the human civilization and our Mother Earth, let's stop this madness and make our voice heard. Compassion and love for each other is the only way that can save our world. And peace will come when all come together as one. Thank you everyone for being here.